Kirk math. All right, we've made it to the last lesson of Module 4. So we're going to take everything we learned and we're going to apply them to word problems with fractions. So we're going to add, subtract, multiply, divide. We might even do more than one operation in the same problem. All right, so our problem here is John is cooking enough lentils for lentil barley soup and lentil salad. The lentil barley soup recipe calls for the 3/4 cup of dried lentils. So I'm going to highlight some things that I think are important here. So the soup needs 3/4 of a cup of those lentils. The salad recipe calls for 1.5 cups of the lentils. John has an 1/8 cup scoop, so that's what he's using. Okay, how many scoops of dried lentils will John need to have enough for the soup and the salad? So we're going to now I like to use no-need plans, lists. Basically, when I do a word problem, I like to underline or circle things that are important. And then I kind of like to lay out what's going on because remember, word problems are a story and you have to decipher what's going on in this story. So John wants to cook enough lentils, right? We know that he wants enough lentils for the soup and salad. We know that the soup needs 3/4 of a cup. And we know that the salad needs 1.5 cups. We also know that his scoop is only 1/8 of a cup large. Don't ask, he doesn't have another scoop. What we need to know is how many scoops, how many to make the soup and salad. That's what we have. And then our plan in the end is what are we going to do? Well, in order to know how many scoops, I probably need to add the soup and the salad together to know the total number of cups of lentils, right? Once I get my total number of cups, I then need to take that total and divide it by the 1/8 scoop. And that will tell me my final answer. So that's my plan. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Now that I've figured out a plan, we're going to go ahead and give it a try. So we're going to make some room. Okay, so I kept our plan on here because I need to do the soup plus the salad. So I need to do the 3/4 of soup plus the 1.5 cups of salad. And we need to add those together. So I need to go back in my brain and remember, how do I add fractions? Well, I'm going to need to turn this improper, and then I'm going to need common denominators. So this is going to become 3/4 plus 3/2. The common denominator I want is going to be 4. That's my LCM of 4 and 2. So we're going to take the 3/2 and we're going to times that by 2 over 2 to make 6/4. So my new problem is 3/4 plus 6/4. And that turns into 9/4. Now I'm going to keep it improper because remember, we have something else we have to do. If I turn this into a mixed number or I start trying to simplify it, I'm just going to have to turn it back into an improper fraction for when I do my second step right here, which is the division part. Okay, so I did my first part and I added them together, and now I'm going to do the next part. So I'm going to take the total number of scoops, which is 9/4, and I'm going to divide that by 1/8. Now when we divide, I have to recall, how do I divide fractions? When I divide, I need to do keep, change, flip. And that is going to give me my answer. Now, I could cross cancel here, but I'm going to just do straight across for the most of us here. So 9 times 8 is 72 over 4. Okay, now that I'm done, because this is going to be my final answer, I need to turn this into a simplified piece. So let's just divide by 2 first. And I'm going to get 3 36, and 2. I can divide by 2 again and get 18 over 1. Oh, 18. Just it. 18 scoops. So it's going to be an even 18 scoops for us. Okay. So these word problems are going to be a lot of work because it's many, many steps. But you need to think, what do I know? What do I need to know? And what's my plan? Once you get your plan, you have to recall, how do I add fractions? How do I divide my fractions? And how do I simplify or reduce my fractions? So we're taking all the information we learned in this module and we're putting them into one big problem. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. All right, so I'm going to start by annotating what I know. Okay, an art student uses a roll of wallpaper to decorate 2 gift boxes. The student will use 1 1/3 yards for one box and 5/6 of a yard for the other box. The paper must be cut into pieces that are 1/6 of a yard long. So that's the pieces he needs. How many pieces will the student cut to use for the gift boxes? Okay, so I know that we have those 2 gift boxes and we know the 2 sizes of them and we need the 1/6 of yard. And what we need to know is how many total pieces we're going to use. So I'm going to make out my plan. So my plan is to take box 1, the yards you need for box 1, and add it to box 2. Okay, to get the total yards of paper. Then that's going to be step 1. Then my second step, well, I'll make it a little lower because we'll do it underneath. Then my second step is going to be to take the total yards and divide it by that 1/6 of a yard for how many pieces. Okay. So now we're going to apply our plan. So box 1 was 1 1/3 plus box 2, which was 5/6. Okay. I'm going to turn them improper and get 4/3 plus 5/6. And now remember, when I add or subtract, I need common denominators. So let's go ahead and do 4/3 here. So 4/3, we're going to times that by 2. To get 8/6. So my new problem is 8/6 plus 5/6 equals 13/6. All right, now I'm not going to turn that improper because I'm not done. I need to move it down here for step 2. 13/6, I'm going to divide that into 6. How many 6? Well, we should know in our head, but let's do the math anyways. 13/6 times 6 over 1. Okay. This is a really nice way to use cross-canceling because 6 divided by 6 is 1. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So my answer is going to be 13 pieces. So an art student, whoever this is going to need 13 pieces of 1/6 yard long paper. Okay. All right, we have 3 more problems here. What I would like you to try to do is pause, like now, read the problem and try it on your own, and then come with me through my journey to try to solve it and see if you're right. And I want you to do that on the next 2 problems or until we run out of time. All right, Naomi has earned $54 mowing lawn in the past 2 days. She worked 1 and 4.5 hours yesterday, and 4 1/4 hours today. If Naomi is paid the same amount for every hour, how much does she earn per hour? All right, so we know that she earned $54 and that she worked these 2 times. So my plan is going to be, I'm going to add the 2 days together. Day 1 plus day 2 is going to give me my total hours. Then my second step is going to take my, let's see, am I doing total hours divided by $54 or am I doing $54 divided by hours? Well, it says here that she earns money per hour. So that's going to tell me it's going to be dollars, money, divided by hours. Okay, per hour. Money per hours means money divided by hours. And that's what I'm going to do. That's my plan. So day 1, 2.5. Day 2, 4 1/4. Okay, turn them into improper. So that becomes 5 halves. And that becomes 17/4. And now I need to find common denominators. Times by 2. And I'm going to get 10/4 plus 17/4 makes 27/4. Okay. Part 2. Take my money and divide it by 27/4 of an hour. Or hours. Okay. Keep. We'll do it down here. Change. Flip. Okay, and we're going to multiply. Okay, so 54 times 4 is 216. 1 times 27 is 27. I divided by 9 first, and I got 24/3. I divided by 3 again, and I got 8 even. If you had divided this by 27, you would have gotten 8 right away. So that means that this person, Naomi, makes $8 per hour. Okay, same on this next one. Try it on your own, and then come and join me and see if you get it right. An art teacher has 1.5 pounds of red clay and 3/4 pounds of yellow clay. So red, yellow. The teacher mixes the red and yellow clay together. Each student in the class needs 1/8 pound of the clay mixture for an art project. How many students can get enough clay to finish this project? Okay, first thing, we're going to add them together. Now, a lot of these have the same format of adding and dividing. Not all problems are this way, but this is kind of what Go Math does, is they're using these two different types to kind of help you understand what you're doing. So we're going to add those two together, and then I'm going to take that total amount of clay, and I'm going to divide it by 1/8 pound, which is what each student needs. Okay, so this becomes 3/2 plus 3/4. I turned 3 halves into fourths by timesing by 2 and got 6/4 plus 3/4, which is 9/4 pounds of clay. Took that down here to step 2. That is my total. 9/4 divided by 1/8. We're going to do 9/4 times 8/1. Keep, change, flip. I cross-canceled here because I know 4 can go into 8 evenly. So 4 divided by 4 was 1, and 8 divided by 4 is 2, and I got 18/1. If you didn't cross-cancel, you would have got 72 divided by 4, which is also 18. So 18 students can finish the project. All right, last one. A hairstylist schedules 1/4 hour to trim a customer's hair and 1/6 hour to style the customer's hair. 1/4 hour to trim, 1/6 hour to style. The hairstylist plans to work 3.5 hours each day for 5 days each week. How many appointments can she schedule each week if they both need to be trimmed and styled? Now, this one's going to be a little bit more. My plan here is... So I'm definitely adding those trim and cut, or trim and style together to get my total per customer. Then I'm dividing that by the amount per day that she's working to get how many customers per day she can do. That was 84/10. Again, I'm not reducing till the very end. Moving it on to step 3 because I need to multiply those customers per day by 5 to figure out how many a week she is working on, or this hairstylist, he or she. So 84/10 times 5/1, I cross-cancel to simplify, or you could have just done the 84 times 5 and then divided by 10 in the end, and you would get 42 customers per week. And that is our answer. So pause here if you need to, look at what I did in more detail, and let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.